hot off the back of finishing our Bulbasaur evolution line, it's time to heat things up with Charmander. If you force me to choose my favorite orange lizard of all the possible orange lizards, I'd certainly say this charming little fellow is the only correct choice. Just a heads up, if you ever try drawing Charmander, you'll know that his proportions are kinda difficult to get right. Stay tuned to see if I manage to get it this time around. Charmander is the fourth Pokemon in the Generation 1 Pokedex and enjoys a lot of popularity thanks to his very cool final evolution, but no thanks to his slightly awkward looking middle evolution. Be sure to subscribe to see me struggle to draw Charmeleon in the next episode. Charmander is a very little guy, at just 2 feet high, and he also coincidentally stands on 2 feet, although his fiery tail is probably the first thing you'd notice about him. The tail is, in fact, the main topic of conversation for pretty much every Pokedex entry for our little orange friend. It's kind of like how I wish people would appreciate me for being me, rather than just always talking about my impeccably shaped nose. The Gen 1 Pokedex kind of cheekily says, obviously prefers warm places. Somewhat condescending, but also, to be fair, I guess it should be kind of obvious. The Gold and Silver Pokedex teaches us that the strength of his tail flame shows the strength of his life force. If you saw my tail flame by 4 p.m. on a normal workday, you'd probably be calling a hospital. But when it comes to Charmander, I bet you'd be calling the fire brigade. Interestingly, the Ruby and Sapphire Pokedex tells us Charmander's flame shows his emotions, wavering if he's enjoying himself, and burning more brightly when he's enraged. If you'd like to make my tail flame waver in joy, then please be sure to hit that like button, but if you want it to be bright with rage, then please just wait until we get to the Mr. Mime video. In which case, you want to subscribe so you don't miss it. In the anime, Charmander is introduced as being abandoned by his former trainer and rescued by Ash. They go through a long and rough relationship at first, but we'll talk more about that in the next episode. The anime is the main reason that I would choose Charmander as my starter every single time. Though later in life, I would realize that sometimes turtles are just lizards, but cooler. If you know, you know. If you want my personal opinion on the design of Charmander, I think he is very, very cute. His face has an innocent quality to it, with his 2 front teeth making him look very much like an adolescent creature. I also think the tail flame is a very creative key aspect of the design. I I think you might be hard-pressed to find anyone who doesn't enjoy the design of Charmander. If you were to choose Charmander as your starter in Gen 1 Pokemon games, you're at a disadvantage at first, since he's not very powerful against the first few gyms. But as he grows, he becomes arguably the strongest of the three choices in terms of raw stats. He's also one of the few fire Pokemon available in those original games. If pressed to reveal my own raw stats, I suspect few trainers would bother EV training me too much. So, now our video is down to just an ember. It's time to sign off. If you've enjoyed our time with Charmander, please let me know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe for more. And until next time, we gotta draw 'em all.